Hi friends, in today's lesson we are going to talk about sequencing, or the word sequence. Now I know you may be thinking, what does sequencing mean? Well, sequencing means to arrange something in a particular order. So when we're talking about a story, we're going to talk about the order in which the events happen. Now let's think about our day-to-day lives. There are so many things that we do every single day in a particular order. We do a lot of things specifically in a particular order so that we have our desired outcome. If we were to do it a different way, then it just wouldn't turn out right. If we think about making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, we think about the steps of grabbing our peanut butter, grabbing our jelly, grabbing our bread. We know that we take 2 pieces of bread and then we put peanut butter on one side and jelly on the other, and then we put the 2 pieces of bread together. But say you took the jelly and you took the peanut butter and you put those together and then you put the bread on top of it. Then it wouldn't be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You would have a piece of bread on top of peanut butter and jelly. Or if we talk about washing our hands, we typically turn the water on, wet our hands, put soap on our hands, rub our hands together, rinse the soap off, and then grab paper towels to dry our hands. But if you did it in a way where you turned the water on, you turned the water off, you put some soap on your hand, and then you walked away, that wouldn't make sense, right? Your hands wouldn't be clean. You had to do things in a particular order in order to get it in the correct outcome that you wanted. Most stories work the same way. Your authors put events in a particular order so that it makes sense leading up to the outcome. But in a story, a lot of authors actually help you knowing the sequence of the events by giving you key words such as first, next, then, and last. If we look at this sequence on our slide, first we would see the little boy getting dressed. Next, he is walking to go outside. Then he played with his friends at the park. Last, he came back home and had dinner with his family. Now, if you had switched the order and say he went outside and then he changed, next he walked and had dinner, that wouldn't make sense, right? You would have to change first in order to go walk to the park and play with your friends and then be able to come home and have dinner with your family. Authors normally help you with these events by putting these key words such as first, next, then, and last. They don't always use them, but it's important to look for these words in a story. That way you know that they have helped you find the events in a passage. Now that you know what sequencing is and you know some key words that authors normally give you, let's practice with this worksheet. The title is Matt the Dog. Read along with me as I read aloud. It says, Matt is a dog. He likes to dig holes. One day, Matt was digging a hole in his backyard. Soon, he found a bone that he hid in the ground the day before. Matt was so happy that he began running around with the bone in his mouth. When he got tired of running, Matt started to chew on the bone. Later, he went to take a nap. Now, if we look at the bottom of the page, we have 5 different events, and we also have 5 boxes that are numbered 1 through 5. Let's take a look at these events and see if we can put them in the proper order based off the story. Now, if we look at the events that are given to us, we see some key words such as next, then, first, finally, and after. So, first would probably come first. It says, first Matt dug a hole. So let's put first Matt dug a hole into the number 1. Let's see, our next detail would be, next he found a bone. We would know that is the next event because of the key word that the author gave us, next. If we look at the remaining 3 events, we have then he began running around. Again, the author gave us another key word, then, which helps us to know that that is the 3rd event. Now we only have 2 events left. We have finally, Matt went to take a nap, and after that, he chewed on the bone. Well, finally indicates that that would be the last one, so after that, he chewed on the bone would have to be the fourth event, and finally, Matt went to take a nap would be the final event. See how you used your key words that the author gave you to help you put the events in order? You did so good with that last practice, but I also have some extra practice in here that you can do. You're going to read this passage and then number the order of events that are given to you at the bottom, 1 through 4. I'll read the passage to you, and then you can go ahead and order them in the proper order yourselves. The passage says, Whitney is going on a field trip to the zoo. The bus arrives at school to pick up the students. At the zoo, the students have to buy tickets to get in the gate. The first thing Whitney sees are the elephants. She feeds them peanuts. Next, Whitney sees the lions. There are 3 lions in the den. Then, Whitney walks to see the giraffes. Whitney gets to pet the giraffe's long neck. This is her favorite part of the day. After, Whitney eats lunch. She packed a jelly sandwich. Finally, it is time to go back to school. Now you have 4 events at the bottom that were given to you, and you need to put them in order. But first, look back at the passage that I just read aloud to you and try and find your key words that are going to help you to know the order that the events happened in. And then you are going to sequence them at the bottom by using numbers 1 through 4. Good job, guys. Now we know that every time we read a story or any kind of passage, there is an order of events that the author has put for us. A lot of times they're going to use key words such as first, next, then, after, and finally to help us know the order that they go in. It is good to remember that not every story is going to be so clear about the order, and sometimes the order may surprise you. But in most things that you are going to read, there is going to be a clear order of events that is going to make sense. Think about it in your everyday life. When you're washing your hands, pay attention to the order that you do it. You may start to recognize that you sequence a lot of things in your life that you did not realize before. See you guys next time.